Hop out the back with a mop and I knock off the back of his top. Whether you lacking or not, shotters gon' come to your home and you getting whacked at the spot. Send a little bitch to the crib, you know that little hoe come back with a drop. Hit him in his head top, getting knocked. Smoke on BK, dead op. Boy on deck and he reckless, trying to get him wet, spin a check on the necklace. Ops in the jam get section, try to get sent PC for protection. I don't.
Hey yo, what up squad? And what up Sweden? Hey man, thanks for tapping in, bro. If this is your first time tapping into my channel, hey, welcome on over, bro. Look, you tapped into the realest, dopest reaction channel on YouTube, hands down. And bro, a little bit different to what we usually bring, bro. So usually I'm tapping into hip hop, but look, I've said this before, bro. I said this, you know, a few videos ago, that in 2022, bro, I'm gonna start focusing a lot on the entertainment side of things, right, rather than just hip hop, because the channel is HOODROK Entertainment. So this video here, bro, we're touching down in Sweden, and we're gonna be looking at a little bit of everything about Sweden, I guess, bro. If you said it, I'm guessing you guys know geography now. Everyone knows geography now, surely. If not, these guys here cover nearly all the countries you can think of, bro. You know what I mean? I've watched a lot. I've done ones on Albania. I've done ones on Poland, stuff like that, bro. So, yo, go tap into those. I'm going to do this in 2 parts, bro. Right? Because it's 33 minutes long. And if... with the pauses and the stuff that I'm going to be talking and stuff like that, it's going to end up taking a couple of hours, bro. So I'm gonna do it in 2 parts, alright? So make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss part 2. And yo, let's just get into this, bro. Y'all know what up, bro. I thought, bro, I'll tell you what, another reason why I thought these would be good to do, bro, is because I've been covering a lot of Sweden's the war over there in the streets, right? In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm rolling up, my nigga. I'm rolling up so I can smoke with you for this. Hey, and Happy New Year's, bro. I know that for you guys, it's New Year's Eve just kicked off. So you've just kicked off your New Year's Eve. It's New Year's, bro. It's 2022 in about 3 hours here in New Zealand. Well, 2.5 hours. I ain't got much planned, bro. I don't drink and shit, bro. And all of the big events here in New Zealand have been cancelled, so, you know, I've got a few friends that are out camping and stuff at the moment. We were going to go out to camp and spend the night out there, but, hey, look, man, we're not going to make a big deal of it. We're just going to wake up in the morning and just smash this 2022 out. You know what I mean? Big things happening. So, anyway, let's get into this, bro. I thought it would be good to just look at some of the other stuff about Sweden, bro, rather than all the negative shit, bro. You know what I mean? So, yo, let's get into this, yo.
Sweden. I don't have to give much of an introduction. I'm sure you've all heard of this one. We've scaled the treacherous Danish peaks of Møllehøj, stomached the ammonia-flavored Icelandic Hákarl, and our wallets were viciously attacked by Norwegian prices of anything. But now it's time. Welcome to the final boss of Scandinavia, Sweden. Ooh, it's hot. I'm all hot and sweaty right now.
You know the drill.
Oh, yeah.
That's a dry-ass joke, homie.
Okay.
Kick it.
Oh yeah, Noah's back, by the way.
Here we are.
Yep.
It's time to learn geography.
No! Hey everybody, I'm your host Barbs. You can get a Geography Now t-shirt or Geography Now merch at geographynow.com. Not selling out if it's your brand. Anyway, alright you guys, this is it. Our last Nordic country.
But what about
Your constituents.
But what about?
You're in unincorporated territory. But what about me? We already did your video, I even went there. Okay, anyway, I actually wanted to go to Sweden for this episode. At the last minute, Sweden was like, dude, we're gonna close off our borders to anyone outside the EU. But you know how it goes. The show must go on. And if we can't go to Sweden, we're gonna bring Sweden to us, and in the best possible way, with real Swedish people. And I mean like real Swedes, not those 5th generation Minnesota Swedes that eat lutefisk once a year. And so with that, say hi to Jonas and Carolina. Come on in. Woo! Oh, yeah. I got 2 Swedes. So you guys are the real deal. Swedish, straight up, right?
I was born in Sweden.
I'll move my camera down.
Then my mom moved me to the enemy, to Norway.
Oh, so you're half Norwegian. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm from Skåne, so we might have some angry people out there claiming I'm Danish, but
It was LA. You guys were the best I could find. So anything you want to say to the Swedish subscribers?
Nah, I'm excited for you guys to learn more about your country. Our country.
By the way, where are you guys from?
I'm from
She fly.
Helsingfors.
And I'm
She
from
fly.
Skellefteå.
Now, there are many ways you can divide Europe.
She
You know,
fly.
like you have the Mediterranean, the post-Iron Curtain, the Balkans. But everyone knows the further north you go, things start to get delicious and sweet.
Anyway, lots to cover. Let's look at the globe.
Sweden lies in the region of Scandinavia in Northern Europe and is the largest of all the Scandinavian countries, the 5th largest in Europe and 3rd in the EU. The country is bordered by Norway to the west and north, and Finland in the northeast, separated by the Gulf of Bothnia otherwise between them. In this gulf, you can also find Sweden's 2 largest islands, Öland and Gotland. Otherwise in the south, the only other physical connection
Blueberry
they
or
technically
grape?
have is with Denmark via the partially submerged and partially
Sweden.
above ground Öresund
Blueberry.
Bridge that connects Malmö, the 3rd largest city, to Copenhagen. I'm trying my best with these pronunciations, bear with me. The country's largest city, though, and capital is Stockholm, located on the east side of the country, and it actually sits on 14
Shout out
islands
Stockholm.
with 50 bridges at the drainage of Lake Mälaren, with over 20 lakes and countless streams. This is why it is sometimes referred to as the Venice of the North. The country is divided into 21 counties.
Shout out to Stockholm. You know what up? Nothing but man, hey, and I hope you're safe there, man. I hope y'all are safe, bro, because I know that the war's raging there, you know what I mean?
Counties, each abbreviated by a letter or double letter known as a country code. For the EU statistical system, though, the counties are grouped into 8 riksområden, or national areas, to address things like population data and so forth, but they in themselves do not have any administrative function. Otherwise, if you ask a Swede, they might revert back to the 3 traditional lands of Sweden, Norrland, Svealand, and Götaland. Technically, there was a 4th, Österland, which was basically South Finland when it was under Swedish rule, but that term hasn't been used since the 15th century. Anyway, Stockholm is also the central hub of economic activity and transportation. The largest and busiest airport is Stockholm's Arlanda International, which, like so many European international airports, is located super far from the actual city. It takes a 20-minute express train or 45-minute car drive to downtown. The second largest airport, Landvetter International.
It's like New Zealand. New Zealand's exactly the same, bro. The fucking airport's like fucking 40 minutes away. It's like 30 minutes away from where I live. But it's like that where I used to live in Wellington, which is the most southern capital in the world. Fucking airport's like 40 minutes away. Damn.
Is located in the second largest city, Göteborg, or Gothenburg for the misguided English speakers. Göteborg actually also has the largest shipping port in the country and the largest in all of Scandinavia, taking in about a third of all Swedish trade activity. It lies on the Kattegat and Skagerrak, the shallow straits that open up Scandinavia to the rest of the world. With other major cities like Oslo and Copenhagen within radius, here about 70% of all industry and commerce through Scandinavia happens. It's a busy spot to say the least. Finally, the country has quite an organized system of roads and radius. Here, a third of all Swedish trade activity. It lies on the Kattegat and Skagerrak, the shallow straits that open up Scandinavia to the rest of the world. With other major cities like Oslo and Copenhagen within radius, here about 70% of all industry and commerce through Scandinavia happens. It's a busy spot to say the least. Finally, the country has quite an organized system of roads and rail networks that more or less parallel each other. There are 2 main north-south highways, the E4 that hugs the entire Bothnia coast, and the E45, the longest road in the country that goes along the mountains inland from Göteborg all the way to the border with Finland in the north.
Also, it's important to note that Sweden claims to have the most islands out of any other country in the world, at over 260,000.
In any case,
Damn.
Sweden's domain wasn't always confined to these
For real? Damn.
borders.
For starters, Sweden being Scandinavian.
Bro, she fly, bro. She fly.
Obviously have Viking history. If you know anything about Vikings,
Yeah, my niggas.
They were literally in the Americas 500 years before Christopher Columbus.
and when they couldn't conquer an area, they still left their mark somehow. Even the Hagia Sophia in Turkey has runic inscriptions hidden on it.
It was like Viking graffiti, like Vikings were here.
On top of that, in the 1600s, Sweden started to become a European powerhouse, and like many other countries, took an attempt at settling and colonizing places outside of Europe.
At one point, Sweden had fortresses and colonies in the Americas, Africa, mostly in what now is Ghana.
Further, which it's more, within Sweden, you even have a few micronations.
We don't have time to get into each of them, but they're pretty interesting. One of them was made as a protest by an artist to protect those wooden sculptures.
Anyway, the developmental structure behind Sweden has a lot of history behind it.
Like Visby on Gotland Island, probably the best preserved medieval city in Scandinavia.
Oh, wow.
Downtown Stockholm neighborhood of Gamla Stan was built as a fortress to protect against pirates.
Later on, one of your kings would actually become a pirate, but that's another story. In fact, the country has 15 natural heritage sites. And actually, here's fellow geography Rebecca to explain a little bit more about the top notable sites of Sweden. Rebecca, take it away.
Hi everyone, my name's Rebecca, and if you're ever in Sweden, here are some of the most notable sites. There are plenty of notable castles, fortresses, and cathedrals.
Yeah, I want to see those.
Drottningholm Castle, Gripsholm Castle,
Damn.
Örebro Castle.
Hey, whoa. Just skipping past this shit like it's fucking, like it ain't shit. Yo, hold on.
Such as Drottningholm Castle,
Yo, it's dope. That's fire.
Gripsholm Castle, Örebro.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to look at. God damn. Look at the moat on that motherfucker. Bro, and you know that back in the day when that shit was built, bro, that moat would have been hella more like, you know, it wouldn't have been so easy to access. It would have been a big wall around it and all that kind of shit.
Castle, Visby Town Wall, Uppsala Cathedral, and St. Mary's Cathedral. Sweden also has the highest concentration of runestones in the world, with the most famous one being Rökstenen. There's also many historical Viking sites, such as Birka Viking Village, Trelleborgen, Old Uppsala,
Yo,
and
fire.
Rökstenen. If you're looking
Yo, fire. If you know anything about my people, bro, alright, I'm a Māori, you know, indigenous to New Zealand, Pacific Islander. If you know anything about my people, bro, we're labelled as the best sea navigators in the history of mankind, bro, right? Because we navigated and colonized the whole Pacific Ocean, bro, which is pretty much 2/3 of the world's sea. And we did that in canoes with just using the stars, bro. But that's one thing that we have in common with the Vikings, bro, is we love the sea, bro. You know what I mean? And we were seafaring people. You know what I mean? And we were a warrior race split up into tribes that warred with each other. Shit like that. Tribal
for more
warfare.
excitement, check out the theme parks Liseberg, Gröna Lund, and Skarpnäck. Notable museums in Sweden are the Vasa Museum,
Well, that
the
was cool.
Museum Fotografiska, and the Museum of Natural History. In Stockholm, you can find the newly renamed Avicii Arena.
Hey,
It
that's
also acts
dope.
as
Hey, that's dope as fuck. What the fuck? What's that?
Natural history. In Stockholm, you can find the newly renamed Avicii Arena. It also acts as the sun in the largest scale model of our solar system. Thank you,
Damn.
and I hope you come to visit Sweden someday.
Thank
I'm
you,
coming,
Rebecca.
man. I'm
Speaking of
coming.
Swedish places, like other Nordic countries, we have allemansrätten, which is the legal right to roam anywhere in nature.
Have you guys ever taken advantage
Yeah.
of that Allemannen?
Hold on.
Which is the legal right to roam and
Oh, mind you, I think that's, we got that in New Zealand. We got that in New Zealand. I didn't actually think that was anywhere else. We have the same law here in New Zealand, bro, the legal right to roam. We also have a law in New Zealand that if you're ever surviving off the land, or if you ever need to live off the land, you're allowed to kill farm stock, livestock. But as long as you leave the skin hanging over the farmer's fence, it shows that it was used to survive, that their stock was killed for someone to survive, and it's legal. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's illegal. If you don't do that, it's poaching.
anywhere in nature.
Have you guys ever taken advantage of that Allemannen thing?
Nice.
You just like pick berries and like, hey.
I mean, most places are owned by the country, so you're allowed to be there.
Yeah, same. Same here.
Like, hey,
No.
Allemannen
No. It has to be
Preferably
public
not.
land.
Well, speaking of roaming
Yeah.
in nature, there's
Same
a lot
here,
to
bro.
explore in Sweden. Which brings us
There's a lot in common with us, man.
Now, in the Nordics, each country kind of has their own trademark physical trait.
You know, Norway has the mountains and fjords.
Denmark has the flat grassy farms.
Finland is the land of lakes.
And Iceland is basically just one big volcano.
And then you get to Sweden and it's like a little bit of everything. Yes, there's even a small sand volcano in...
Bro, you should go watch the New Zealand's geography now. Bro, they said the exact same thing about us, bro. And this is why I've always said New Zealand and Sweden have so much in common, bro. They say about New Zealand that you're never... I live in New Zealand, so I can even tell you this. Bro, no matter where you live in the country, you're never that far from the ocean. You're never that far from a river. You're never that far from a mountain with snow on it. And you're never far from a forest, a native forest. And you can go skiing and then drive 45 minutes away from the mountain, put your swimsuit on and go sunbathing in 30-degree weather. You know what I mean?
Sweden lies on the Scandinavian peninsula of northern Europe, shared with Norway.
And it's kind of shaped similar to New Zealand, like, you know what I mean? It's shaped similar to Norway and Sweden together. Like, we're never far from the coastline. I saw that here, bro. You know what I mean?
East side of the Scandinavian mountain chain that separates them. Here you can also find the tallest peak, Kebnekaise, in the far north. This means that Sweden gets most of its river runoff from the mountains that mostly flow down into the Gulf of Bothnia, and the longest river shared with Finland being the Torne or Tornio River. The longest river fully within Sweden, though, being the Dalälven River. Amongst these rivers is an abundance of lakes and ponds peppering the flatter hilly valleys below, the largest of these lakes being Värnen and Vättern in the south. The reason Sweden has so many of these pockety lake zones and eroded rivets is because they sit on a post-glacial rebound zone. Basically, during the Ice Age, all this land was crushed by heavy ice. But after the ice melted, like a sponge, Sweden started to slowly spring back up again. This means every year Sweden recovers on average about 4 millimeters of land from the sea. In some places, even more. This is why you might see extended piers from old homes that once used to be situated on the shore. The country has 4 general climate zones: the oceanic zone in the south by the Baltic Sea. This is also where most of the agriculture is situated. The continental zone is in the middle part of the country. And finally, the subarctic in the north just above that. These areas have the highest forest concentration in the country. Also, the peaks of the mountains are classified as tundra. The top 15% of Sweden lies just north of the Arctic Circle, where the coldest temperatures and highest snowfall happen. Sweden lies just north of the Arctic Circle.
Bro, fuck that. I'm not dissing anyone up there in North Sweden, bro, but bro, I've talked to a couple of years, bro, on my live streams. I've talked to a couple cats up there, and apparently sometimes of the year it's like the sun starts setting at 1 a.m. in the morning, my nigga. Bro, if I woke up and the sun was still out at 1 in the morning, I would freak out, bro. I think it was the end of the world, or I think, like, you know what I mean? Fucking D-Day just came or something, bro. Like, the sun sets and rises in New Zealand at the same time every day, bro.
Where the coldest temperatures and highest snowfall.
But we're basically on the other side of the world to you guys, you know what I mean?
Snow at all in the winter, just cold, depressing rain. Numbers fluctuate depending on which source you study, but somewhere around or above 60% of the country is forested, making it the second most forested country in Europe after Finland.
It's also important to note that Sweden has aprilväder, or April weather, in which, well,
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the sun is finally out after 6 months.
Hey, we the same. We're the same. They call New Zealand the country of 4 seasons in one day. When sometimes, bro, I could just... Oh, bro. Yo, I guess you know what I'm talking about. Yo, that's cool, bro. I think it's cool. And I think the reason for that being why a lot of our country is so much similar, like a lot fertile, bro. Cold in the winter, hot in the summer. A lot of rivers. A lot of mountains, a lot of beaches. I guess the reason why a lot of our country is the same, bro, is because of where we're situated on the earth. So if I dig a hole in the ground, bro, in New Zealand, I'd probably come out somewhere around Faroes Islands. You know what I mean? It's not that far from Sweden, bro.
Of darkness. So clothes come off. We sit in the sun. Oh, whenever you see a sweet tooth, expect this facing the sun, eyes closed, and then all of a sudden a storm hits or snow comes or
Out of nowhere.
yeah.
I don't know where.
The interesting thing, though, is that Sweden in the past was kind of not much like what they are today. In fact, at the beginning of the 20th century, much of Scandinavia was struggling with widespread poverty.
However, much like Germany's Wirtschaftswunder, they had the rekordåren in which Sweden's economy bursted with now industries and innovation.
And today you have the largest economy and most powerful nation in Northern Europe.
To explain a little bit more on the way
Fun.
Sweden takes what it
Hey,
has
Stu.
and flourishes, here's Noah. He's back!
Well, here we are. Once again, let's get to it. Despite having lush green lands, only about 7% of the country is arable. Therefore, agriculture isn't exactly their main focus.
Oh,
Today,
wow, hold on.
7% of the country is arable. Therefore, let's get to it. Despite having lush green lands, only about 7% of the country is arable. Therefore, agriculture
wow.
isn't exactly their main focus.
Okay.
Today, much of Sweden's open market economy is heavily based on exports, especially in the timber and mining sectors. The largest mine in Kiruna is
Makes
actually
sense.
so large they are currently in the process of moving the town and residents to make more mines. This is how Sweden in the 21st century became the world's 6th largest iron ore exporter and 3rd largest stainless steel exporter. And of course,
Wow,
the
bro.
Swedes love trees so much that a long time ago during famine times, they would put crushed tree bark into their rye bread, which was actually good because the bark had lots of minerals and fiber. Go figure. The lumber industry plays a huge role in their world renowned.
Sorry, bro. Motherfucking what? Bark in your fucking brain? Yo. Come on, my nigga, real?
Times, they would put crushed tree bark into their rye bread, which was actually good because the bark had lots of minerals and fiber. Go figure. The lumber industry plays a huge role in their world-renowned furniture commerce. We've all heard of IKEA having over 450 stores in about 60 countries. IKEA. They actually studied that in
Is it Swedish? I didn't know it was Swedish, bro. We got IKEA here in New Zealand, nigga. Fucking everywhere in New Zealand, in the city that I live in. Shit, I didn't know it was Swedish. Oh, that's dope.
having over 450 stores in about 60 countries.
My nigga.
They actually studied that in design school.
Is that
But
true, Noah?
That is true. Not that I do it, but here we are. You might be familiar with other Swedish companies like Electrolux, Ericsson, H&M, Saab, Scania, Spotify, and of course,
Every single one of those. I didn't know any of those were Swedish. Actually, hang on.
Swedish companies like Electrolux, Ericsson, H&M, Saab, Scania, Spotify, and of course the
Didn't know any of these. Oh, I knew, bro. No, I didn't. I didn't. I was gonna say I knew Volvo, but no, I didn't, bro. Out the gate, you know, I know every single one of these brands, right? Shit. So the Electrolux, shh, my nigga, I got an Electrolux. We use the Electrolux, dumbass, shit. Funny, I didn't even know.
companies like
I didn't even know
Electrolux,
that.
Ericsson, H&M, Saab,
Funny.
Scania, Spotify, and of course the largest domestic company
That's
and
dope,
only
bro.
one on the Fortune 500 list, Volvo. Great cars, I might say.
Fuck yeah.
And that is that. Until we meet again.
Thank you, Noah.
Now, going off of business talk, domestically, Sweden does have a pretty complex system when it comes to taxes that plays into their fiscal structure.
As of 2021, their individual tax rates range from about 32% to 52% based on income bracket margins. And that's not even including other factors like corporate value added taxes, which can be up to 25%.
When you add them, you get the second highest total tax revenue behind Denmark as a share of its country's income.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
that's you guys kind of have high taxes.
Well, we also have healthcare.
And good.
That's dope. That I don't mean the Texas. I don't mean the Texas. I'm not talking about Texas, bro. I was just thinking in my head, bro. I was speaking out loud and I shouldn't have been, but I was just thinking, bro, the way that he's done this, I wonder how many takes they do it in, right? I wonder how many takes they do it in because they're bouncing off each other perfectly. I know they're reading the thing, but they're just doing it so in sync, bro. And it's not like it's some fucking big time professional channel or some shit. You know what I mean? It's a nigga who started just like me in a fucking room and shit. Go have a look at this old shit. He's standing in a room with posters on the wall. Like, you know what I mean? Bro, I just think it's dope how they done that. Yo, I'm not talking about the Texas, but if you also go check out that New Zealand one that I was talking about, bro, you'll notice that New Zealand's taxes are the same kind of like Sweden, but just like Sweden, bro, our education system is one of the best in the world, bro. And we offer free education for Oh, you know, our free education system's pretty dope too. Our healthcare is some of the best in the world, bro. And all of that shit. You know, our education system, most of our qualifications are world recognized and shit. So, and we also rank as I think we're the best. I think we're #1 in the world to retire to. New Zealand. And we're also #1 in the world, best country in the world to raise your children.
Good schools.
And good roads.
We get free food roads to the schools.
And we get free food.
And good schools.
And good roads.
We get free
Shout out
food
Sweden.
roads to the schools.
Roads. In any case, another interesting thing about Sweden is its wildlife. And with that, here's Gary Harlow to explain.
That's what I want to look at.
Guess who's back? As a Nordic country, Sweden is obviously a place for...
Let's go. This guy, he sounds Australian, bro. Like the crocodile hunter kind of dude.
Guess who's back? As a Nordic country, Sweden is obviously a place full of cold climate animals. In fact, they have the 3rd highest number of their national animal, the moose, or the Eurasian elk, after Russia and Canada. There's so many moose that they actually have to hunt around 100,000 every year to maintain population control, killing...
He's trying to be Australian. He's doing a really fucking bad job of it, but he's trying to be Australian.
...your national animal because there's too many. Go Sweden! There are 30 national parks and nature prediction zones, and the most famous being in the North Lapland areas where reindeer, muskox, grey owls and brown bears can be spotted roaming freely. Fun fact, reindeer have climate-adapted feet in the summer. Their spongy foot pads are more exposed to
Yo, bro. Yo, my bad, bro. I didn't mean to pause up, bro. It's got nothing to do with the video, bro. Well, it does, bro. But this dude is the worst Australian fucking impersonator ever, bro. Oh, snapping. I'm high as fuck, bro. I used to live in Australia. Alright? And Australia is our neighbor. We're so close with Australia that our borders are open to each other, right? You know, we just move freely backwards and forwards, bro. Yo, shout out to my little brother, shout out to my cousins, uncles, aunties, and that all over there in Queensland and New South Wales and Australia, bro. Yo, sorry that this dude's doing such a poor fucking job of being an Australian, bro. Yo. Hey, my sons live over there too. Hey man, Han, Caleb, what's up? Dad loves you. This is fucking...
climate-adapted feet in the summer. Their spongy foot pads are more exposed, which helps with traction. But in winter, the pads shrink and the hoof is exposed, which helps cut into the ice when moving. Finally, Sweden is one of the few places in the world with a real taxidermised whale. The mouth used to be open for visitors to walk into, but it was closed off to the public because a couple was caught having sex in it.
Well, then it must have been a sperm whale. They would make it a sperm whale.
But it was closed off to the public because a couple was caught having sex. Speaking of making babies, I made one myself. Here's a photo of my daughter. She's beautiful. Thank you, Gary. Yeah, I remember the first meal I had in Sweden was...
Shout out to your daughter, man.
You guys love your reindeer. What's your favorite dishes in Sweden?
It probably is reindeer meatballs. Yeah.
I would say salmon. Grilled in the summer, oven baked in the winter.
Yeah, she's on, bro. She's on, bro. Yo, she's on. One of my favorite dishes is fish too.
You guys know fika, right? Yeah, fika. It's funny because coffee was actually banned from Sweden like 5 times in the 1700s, but that's another story. To explain a little bit more about fika and the food, here's Johan.
Why'd you ban coffee, bro?
Alright guys, well this is fika, and to explain, here is Johan.
So in Sweden, fika is...
My son's name's Han. I just mentioned that, yo. But yo, what up with the coffee thing, yo?
Huge tradition. It's something you do daily. It's a part of a workday break where you kind of like gather, you sit down and you have coffee. Historically, it's been that 7 types of cookies minimum, plus cinnamon rolls and cardamom rolls.
Yo, I'm coming over for coffee. Is this every day? Y'all niggas do this every day? Yeah, I want to come over for some coffee, bro. Yum. Oh, it looks like yum as. I'm into all that shit.
And then
I'm high as
pastries,
hell right now,
pizza
so
cakes and other things. Every day,
Who's got
but
me?
not
Who's got me on some
necessarily
coffee?
this many sorts. I wanted to give you a cross section of what it could be. So, and then the most famous on the bottom would be the princess cake.
So if I'm gonna try some, I have to have some marzipan.
has it got cream in it? Has it got whipped cream in it? Oh, man, yeah.
So many layers.
I know.
Wow.
And
Hello there, my name is Dick and I'm here to talk about
Oh, what are you doing?
boats. We have kroppkakor or palt, depending on if you are from the north or the south. Sill, or as you will call it, herring. We have reindeer.
Yeah, I'm into
if you are
that.
from the north or the south. Sill,
Yeah, I'm into this. Yeah, that's me. That's all seafood, right? Yeah, that's me, bro.
or as you will call it, herring. We have reindeer, pea soup,
Yeah.
cauliflower soup, surströmming, or
Yeah, I'm into that.
sour herring, but eat at your own risk. All of these foods can be eaten at the traditional smorgasbord, or smorgasbord, basically.
Yeah, hook me up. Bro, I'm a food. Oh, well, bro, goddamn, I eat anything, bro. I ain't anything. Like, I was raised with nothing, bro. We came from nothing, bro. Right, literally, bro. Going up to the bush and digging for food in the forest. You know what I mean? One of my friends never eating McDonald's. Going across the road to the beach to dig for food with our hands. You know, we call them pippies in here, but shellfish and stuff like that, bro. You know what I mean? Damn.
Buffet. We also have Kalles.
I eat anything, bro.
Caviar. It's a Swedish style of smoked.
I'll try anything too.
That's super expensive, and of course,
Bro.
we have
I'll eat anything, bro. As long as the person that's serving it to me is eating it themselves, bro. I'm in, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the people that are hosting are eating the shit, then that's rude if you're not gonna eat it. That's rude, bro. My mom's just like, my mom told me, bro, if they're eating it, you're eating it. It's simple as that. Or you can go home and starve. How about that? You know what I mean?
knäckebröd! And the traditional national dish of Sweden, Swedish tacos. Over to some drinks from Sweden. We have akvavit, or flavored caraway liquor. Julmust on Christmas, and påskmust on Easter. Glögg, we have glögg. And of course, my personal favorite, punch. It's made by the mixing of spirits like arak, brandy, or rum with arak tea with some sugar and water. Very sweet. Very
I don't
strong,
drink,
and
but
very
yo.
nice.
Thank you, Johan and Rikard. Oh, yeah, you guys also have something about like the alcohol in Sweden. Can you guys explain what is that?
It's called the Systembolaget, which is like the Swedish system of selling heavily regulated alcohol at state-owned stores at set prices.
So you can be 18 and go to a bar to get liquor, but you can't buy it at a store until
No.
you're 20.
Correct.
Logic, you know.
Logic, yeah.
The way it goes is that Norwegian people go to Sweden to buy alcohol. Swedish people go to Denmark to buy alcohol.
So, it's the same thing here in New Zealand, right? So here in New Zealand, you're allowed to drink if you're 16. But that's only in the care of an adult. Like, while you're with an adult. But you're not allowed to go up to the bar and buy it yourself. You've got to be 18 to do that. Alright? But if you're with a caregiver and you're 16, you're allowed to drink. But you're just not allowed to buy it till you're 18.
Danish people go to Germany to buy alcohol.
You guys all have a system.
Yeah, we have a system for cheap alcohol.
So there's probably a bunch of 16-year-olds taking a ferry over to Denmark.
The ferry itself is a party.
I've been on that ferry. I've been on that ferry with my mom between Helsingborg and Helsingør. Funny story, I was told when potatoes were introduced to Sweden, it was kind of like this.
What are these things? Well, obviously, liquor.
And that's how aquavit was born, supposedly. Oh, what's that thing about candy on Saturdays? Explain.
Yo, what's this?
Lördagsgodis. You get to eat candy on Saturdays. So when we were kids, we got a little amount of money. We got to run to the store and pick our favorite candy. It's amazing.
Oh, hey, that would have been cool, bro. That would have been cool. That would have been cool. But unfortunately, I don't think my mum would have been able to afford to hook me up.
Best in the world. I mean, yes, good ingredients. When you come here, pretty much half the ingredients of American candy is illegal in Sweden. So.
Yeah, we do that. Well, on that note, we've talked a lot about some of your small little traditions. Let's explain a little bit more in...
Yo. I'll pause it there. That's exactly halfway through. Bro, that concludes part 1 That includes part 1, bro. That was cool, bro. I learned a bit about Sweden and that, bro. I learned that it's actually a lot more like New Zealand than I really thought. And I actually thought that we were a lot alike before that. So, yo, damn. I can't wait to get into part 2, but I need to go eat some of that shit because that fruit look good, bro. That whipped cream, oh my god, nigga. I'm a sucker for cakes with whipped cream, you know what I mean? I'm a big sucker for that shit. But yo, shout out to everyone out there for tapping in. Thanks for watching, bro. Make sure you tap in for part 2, hit that notification bell, tap that like button, subscribe, bro. We're the realest, illest, dopest reaction channel. I'm looking forward to 2022 as well, bro. We're gonna smash this YouTube thing. Alright? You know, send in all the videos that you want me to react to, drop them in the comment section or get at me on Instagram. And until next time, stay safe, stay dangerous, and I'm out. Peace.